how did I go from being low grandmasters and basically always a masters player, maybe you can even argue, to regularly getting multi-season challenger every single season? How is that possible? Well, this is actually where we're going to come to diet, because yes, my diet quite literally did change whether or not I did end up getting into challenger or whether I didn't get into challenger. And not only that, it actually doesn't end there. I basically was able to get 1k LP with a 68% win rate on my main champion. And not only that, I was actually able to get rank 27 challenger, which is not just challenger, by the way, that is high challenger. That's very, very high challenger. In fact, that's top 100.
Oh my
It's
God.
top 30,
Oh
top
my
27. So once again, pretty insane. And this all does come down to diet. Now, I did play 3 main champions. I played Eve, I played Kane, and I played Brand. Now, originally, when I did start doing this, my Kane wasn't super good, but my Eve was definitely on par. And as you can see, based on the win rate, yes, that's a 68% win rate, which sounds absolutely absurd. And yes, it actually was quite absurd, getting 1k LP with a 68% win rate. But as you can see, a little bit below that, my Kane win rate was only 38%, which is very, very low. So that's actually pretty bad. But I actually managed to change that. And quite literally, with my diet, I actually managed to reform and change how I played Kane. And not only that, my Kane ended up being my strongest champion, oddly enough, especially in high challenger. And this wasn't because Kane was super meta at the time. It's actually because, quite literally, Kane had more versatility and a little bit more other things going for him, as well as not being constantly nerfed like Eve, which Eve was being constantly nerfed at that time. So I did stop playing Eve as much. But regardless, there's a couple things, but to keep it really short, yes, Kane was actually my best champion, and in fact, it's how I got rank 27. Not only that, I probably could have even hit rank 1 if I wasn't basically going to Korea at that time, which is pretty crazy, because during that time, I was climbing really, really fast, and when I say really, really fast, I mean I was probably getting about 100 LP per day, because I was really just crushing the competition. It wasn't even close. And during this entire process, by the way, not only did I manage to climb very quickly, I was also very mentally stable. In fact, I was so mentally stable, my mental was on point. And by on point, I mean I was literally absolutely chilling the entire time. Win or loss didn't really bother me, which was kind of crazy. So you're probably going at this point, what the hell was your diet then, and what the hell were you eating in order to, 1, have good mental, and 2, absolutely destroy from going low grandmasters to top 27 challenger, if not basically rank 1? What did you do? Now, I actually just abused biochemistry, to keep it simple, and I ate meat. Now, you might say, what the hell? Yes, I'm saying quite literally, meat is literally the dictating factor in whether or not you do or do not climb. And you might say, what on earth is that? That's ridiculous. No, literally, it is the main difference. And the reason I know that it comes from meat is because when I actually did change my diet, I went from constantly never hitting challenger, quite literally multiple seasons in a row, to finally hitting challenger for my very first time, and afterwards actually hitting challenger not just once but multiple times, over and over and over and over again. And not only did I hit challenger with higher and higher win rates, and not only with higher and higher win rates, also with higher and higher ranks every single time as well. Yes, and this all has to do with meat. Now, what kind of meat am I talking about? Yes, actually, there are some specific meats that you can abuse if you really want to min-max. But to keep it really short, I was eating meat, and this means beef. Now, I was eating beef, and I was eating lamb. And I would also have eggs in between, because I really did love eggs, and yes, eggs really did make a difference. However, when I did hit challenger for my first time, I wasn't actually just eating beef, lamb, and eggs the entire time. I was actually just eating chicken and beef leg and all these other things. I was eating actually a lot of different kinds of meat. But there is a little bit of a difference in terms of abusing the biochemistry, and this has to do with deuterium and polyunsaturated fat content, and a little bit more in terms of protein, amino acids, vitamin and mineral interactions. I'm not going to explain all of that in this video because this is more so just for the gamers. Now, if you're interested in all the details behind this, then I recommend you check out my Real Nutrition Science playlist, because I explain it all there. But to keep it really short, that's basically what I eat. And if you really want to min-max, once again, then I would keep it to the beef and the lamb, because that is the easiest thing. Now, you can also add a couple other things like butter, for instance. Butter will help a little bit. But you want to be a little careful with adding dairy and stuff. I'm not going to explain all the details behind that. Once again, you can go check out that playlist if you're interested. So yeah, hopefully you learned how you can quite literally stomp everybody in League of Legends just by quite literally just changing what you eat. And once again, it sounds absolutely absurd, but when you understand the science behind it, it really does work. And just to give you a real quick example of why exactly this works in terms of the science, what you are doing is you are actually stimulating, one, ketone production, and two, you are also making sure your body produces less free radicals, more specifically also less antioxidants, which is very expensive on your body. And during this entire time, your body will completely do a 180 and your brain will start using ketones, which once again, your brain prefers to use ketones. It doesn't actually like glucose as the main energy source. So anybody who tells you that, they're just clueless, and I could prove them wrong a myriad of ways. But to keep it short, once again, that's how you can get Challenger. Yes, that's right. Now, this doesn't just apply to a Masters player or a Heartstock Masters player like you. This actually applies to the top challengers out there, because I'm quite sure if the top challengers did exactly this, they would become even better than they are, which it sounds absolutely absurd, but yes, I really do think that's possible. And it will make League of Legends not only less tilting, because one, everybody actually has really cool mental, but two, it will also make League of Legends way more competitive and maybe even bring the League of Legends scene back once again. Thanks for watching. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, once again, like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Helps the channel grow. And if you're interested in seeing all of my videos ahead of time, click the join button down below. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Pew.